Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Megan Lavin, owner of the recipe site allergyawesomeness.com. And together with Allergic Living, we discuss the topics that affect those living with food allergies. Today, we're going to talk about two recent failed oral challenges my son had and the silver lining that came from it. As you may be familiar from my previous article on Allergic Living's website, if not, we'll link it in the comments, that both of my sons have done lots, and I mean lots, of oral food challenges. My son even had his first oral challenge with soy milk and a sippy cup as a toddler. And he's had one almost every year since then, and so it's been at least over a decade. Now, to note, we have never done oral immunotherapy, also known as OIT, but have done oral challenges after each of my son's yearly testing if the results looked promising compared to previous results. Thankfully, we've had a lot of passes. We've been able to add things like pork, lentils, shrimp, hazelnut, eggs, and others, which have been so life-changing and so good to vary up their diets. But we've also had 3 fails. The first fail was with baked egg. My older son, who's got many food allergies, was doubled over with stomach cramps. He was unwilling to go forward, and I can't blame him. The next one was wheat. My son went into anaphylaxis and had to have 2 shots of epinephrine. And, though, that was when he realized what a huge difference epinephrine makes. It made a believer out of him. He went from being red, swollen, hives, and overall miserable to having his throat clearing, feeling better within seconds. I think that is when something clicked in his brain of like, oh, this is why carrying auto-injectors are so important, because it can really change things for me for the better and fast. Unfortunately, his next oral challenge was 2 pistachios. I wish we could have stopped there, but once again, he started being covered in hives, swelling, coughing. At first, our allergist, and please note, I don't fault him for this, said, let's try Zyrtec and some steroids first. But after a few minutes, my son still looked and felt miserable. And miracle of all miracles, my son asked for epinephrine. He said, why keep trying these other things when I know epinephrine will make it go away? He does not love shots, what kid does, but he recognized the benefits over the poke. What a proud moment. I felt terrible that he didn't get to add another food to his diet, but it was such a moment to see for him. A, advocate for himself and how he wanted his treatment handled, and B, that he wanted epinephrine. I know so many times we're nervous to put our kids through oral challenges, but I can't say enough that I think they're not only the gold standard for knowing if you have a food allergy, but they're worth their weight in gold as well. Even with a fail, and I've been saying that in air quotes because you still learn so much valuable knowledge that I hate to even use the term fail, because failures can be worthwhile. First off, you had the courage and faced a major fear. There's something about staring down a potential severe reaction in the face that helps you realize just how brave you are. And for the record, it's in such a safe environment, it's really not that risky. I always feel so protected, so safe in our allergist office. Second, because my son had anaphylaxis, now as symptoms start, I feel more in control. Before I would just want to crawl out of my skin with panic, but now I know what I'm looking for. I feel practiced, I know how to recognize it better, and I know how to handle it. Third, we've learned what my son's tolerance level is. Did he react after 1 bite, the 3rd dose, the last? And finally, we've learned to believe in the power of epinephrine. I sure hope you're talking to your allergist about oral challenges. If he's not bringing it up, you should. There are so many false positives in allergy testing that it's worth knowing for sure. My son didn't pass beef until he was around 10, and now a hamburger is one of his favorite things in the world. I can't imagine keeping that from him for a second longer. You know, I recently attended the FACT conference, which was fabulous, by the way, and one of their medical board of directors had a quote that's really stuck with me. He said, quote, food avoidance isn't benign, end quote. And I agree. I hope your doctor is talking to you about whether or not they feel your child is a candidate to try things, even if it's just the baked egg or the baked milk oral challenges, and about whether you're willing to put your fear and anxiety away, because you never know. There may be some silver linings for you too, even if your child doesn't pass. By the way, I believe I've documented every oral challenges my boys have done, and they're saved on my Instagram in my saved highlight bubbles. You can scroll over to find them. My allergy handle is allergy_awesomeness. For Allergic Living, we cover a range of topics: emotional needs, recipes, practice things, 504 plants. I have over 30 videos. You can find them all on Allergic Living's IGTV or their YouTube channel. I hope this is helpful. We'll see you next time.